The council chamber on the orbital station above Earth buzzed with tension. Holographic projections of cities, fleets, and population data flickered in the air as representatives from every continent argued over what to do. The Xylarian fleet, enormous and impossibly silent, hung in orbit like a storm ready to break. They had arrived without warning, obliterating the defenses of our outer colonies and demonstrating a power humans had only imagined in nightmares. And then the message came. The voice of Queen Isolara, the alien monarch, filled the chamber. It was calm, commanding, yet eerily melodic. "I will spare your planet," she said, "on one condition. One human being will be mine. Choose wisely, for your failure is extinction." The room fell silent. Not one delegate spoke. No one dared. I was the human ambassador assigned to the negotiation team, a job I had trained for my entire life. My stomach churned as the reality settled in. The fate of billions rested on our ability to make a choice. The Queen's fleet did not bluff. We had seen the destruction in the outer colonies. The choice was cruel, impossible, and deeply personal. "Your Majesty," I said into the communicator, trying to steady my voice, "we need clarification. What do you mean by one human being will be yours?" Her eyes appeared in the holographic projection, vast and radiant, reflecting galaxies. "One human will accompany me. That human will learn, serve, and exist in my domain. Only then will your planet be spared." I swallowed hard. "And if we refuse?" "Refusal equals annihilation," she replied simply. Hours turned into days as the council debated. Every option was worse than the last. Sending an untrained volunteer would be seen as cowardice, and the council feared the Queen's judgment. Selecting someone randomly would destroy morale. The idea of choosing me, an experienced envoy, was whispered, then dismissed, then argued again. Eventually, the decision fell to me. By protocol, as the chief negotiator, I was the one to respond. And so, the impossible question became mine. Could I sacrifice myself to save billions of lives? I requested an audience with Queen Isolara aboard her flagship, a structure that dwarfed anything Earth had ever built. It hung silently in orbit, the hull shimmering with alien metals that reflected the sun like liquid silver. The boarding procedure was tense, security and radiation shields, translation interfaces, and emergency protocols all activated as I crossed the airlock. Inside, the ship was a cathedral of light and sound. The walls pulsed with energy, streams of liquid light flowing along channels that seemed to hum with life. And there she was, Queen Isolara, waiting in a chamber that could have been a throne room or a sanctuary. "You have come," she said, her voice a melody that resonated in my chest. "Have you made your decision?" I nodded, forcing steadiness into my limbs. "I will go with you. Spare Earth, and I will serve in your domain as you demand." Her gaze studied me, intense and unreadable. "You understand the implications? You will leave your home, your people, your species forever." "I understand," I said. "I choose duty over fear. I choose life, for billions over comfort for one." A faint glow traced along her skin, a subtle but unmistakable ripple of bioluminescence. She approached me, her presence overwhelming yet not threatening. "Few humans possess such resolve," she murmured. "Most would struggle with the weight of such a choice. You are rare." The first days aboard her flagship were disorienting. Gravity shifted, light bent, and corridors seemed to stretch beyond reason. I learned quickly that the environment was alive in a sense humans could barely comprehend. The ship responded to thought patterns, moods, and even fear. Queen Isolara guided me through the systems, the etiquette of her court, and the philosophy that governed her people. I discovered that her mercy was not random. Her offer to spare Earth was an experiment in understanding humanity, leadership, and choice. She wanted to see what courage, sacrifice, and integrity looked like under impossible circumstances. And in choosing myself, I had become part of her lesson. Weeks passed. I was no longer merely a captive or envoy. I was a student, an observer, and sometimes a participant in her world. I saw how she governed her empire, the subtle manipulation of diplomacy, the careful maintenance of order, and the extraordinary compassion she exercised towards species far weaker or less advanced than hers. She never pressured me beyond duty, but her presence was always intense, always a reminder of the power she wielded. And slowly, I began to understand why she had asked for one human specifically. Not because she desired power over Earth, but because she wished to see what humanity was capable of when faced with the ultimate choice. One night, in a chamber bathed in soft violet light, she asked me a question I had not anticipated. "Do you regret your choice, human?" I considered the question. Regret? No. Fear, perhaps. Uncertainty, yes. But regret, never. I chose to save millions. That cannot be wrong. Her eyes glimmered like twin stars. You are stronger than I imagined. Most humans would collapse under such responsibility. You have character, integrity, sacrifice. I nodded, humbled. And yet I am still only one human. I wonder if it will ever be enough for you. She smiled faintly, an expression both alien and intimate. It is enough. You have proven your species capable of courage beyond instinct. That is rare. That is beautiful. Months turned into years. I learned her language, her customs, and her philosophy. I witnessed the inner workings of an empire that spanned galaxies. I saw the consequences of choices on millions of lives and began to think not just as a human, but as a participant in a cosmic balance I could scarcely imagine. And through it all, the Earth below thrived. She honored her word, not as a queen granting mercy out of sentiment, but as one who respected courage and sacrifice. Humanity endured, grew stronger, and became a trusted, if distant, ally in her interstellar web. Eventually, the day came when she approached me in the observation chamber, overlooking the swirling nebulae of a distant system. You have lived among my people, observed, learned, and served. You have honored the choice you made. I nodded, still processing the enormity of all I had experienced. I have. And I have learned more than I could have imagined about courage, sacrifice, and the weight of leadership. She extended her hand, and I took it. Few humans are ever given this opportunity, she said softly. Even fewer survive it without losing their essence. You have remained yourself. I realized then that my service had been both a trial and a gift. I had sacrificed home and freedom, yet gained wisdom, insight, and an understanding of the universe far beyond Earth's reach. The Queen's eyes held mine, glowing softly. The human you chose to be has shaped not just your world, but mine. Your courage has proven that mercy, trust, and sacrifice are more powerful than any fleet, weapon, or empire. Remember this always. I will, I said, with a sincerity that encompassed every part of my being. She stepped back, allowing me the autonomy I had earned. And in that moment, I understood that the greatest gift she had offered was not her mercy for Earth, but the opportunity to grow, to endure, and to witness the breadth of possibility beyond my species. Because sometimes survival is not just about preservation, it is about the courage to give oneself completely and to rise stronger than fear. And sometimes, the mercy of an alien queen comes not as a gift, but as a test, one that humanity, through a single choice had passed.